All right, so have you ever felt like you're trying to, I don't know, crack some sort of secret code when you're out there dating? Like you're just
Okay.
trying to figure someone out, maybe even like wondering about their past relationships?
Mm-hmm.
Totally get it. I
Yep.
mean, it's natural to be curious, right?
Yeah.
So today, we're going to take a deep dive into this exact idea. We're looking at this podcast episode called 9 Crucial Signs to Identify Women Who Slept with Many.
Okay.
And it's from, a podcast called Reclaim Power. It's all about relationships and self-improvement, helping people develop those healthier relationship patterns.
Hmm.
And let's just be upfront. The title, it's a bit provocative, right?
Yeah.
But instead of judging, let's use this deep dive to just explore different perspectives, when it comes to relationships. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And I think what's kind of fascinating about this is that the source actually emphasizes communication as like a key element of healthy relationships. It argues that, while a person's past shouldn't define them, understanding it can provide, valuable context.
Okay.
It also like really stresses the importance of open communication rather than like jumping to conclusions based on, assumptions.
That's a good point. And they lay out these 9 signs to look for.
Right.
And some are, well, let's just say, a little surprising.
Yeah.
So, for example, they suggest that being overly guarded about past relationships could be a sign.
Oh, interesting.
Now, haven't we all had relationships we'd rather not rehash, on a first date?
Absolutely. Everyone has different comfort levels when it comes to like vulnerability, right?
Yeah.
Someone who is hesitant to share, details about their past, they might simply be protecting their privacy.
That's true.
Or, they've had negative experiences with oversharing.
Right.
And, this actually connects to the psychological concept of attachment styles. Past relationship trauma, for instance, can lead someone to develop like an avoidant attachment style.
Yeah.
Makes them more guarded in new relationships.
So true. And then the source also mentions that, like, frequently talking about past partners.
Okay.
That's another potential sign. Right. But, I mean, we all tell stories about our exes sometimes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of life.
Exactly. Sometimes those stories are funny. Sometimes they're cautionary tales, we learn from. I think the key is context.
Yeah.
Is she constantly, like, comparing you to her exes or bringing them up in a way that feels disrespectful or dismissive of your connection?
Right.
Or is she simply sharing anecdotes from her life?
Right.
It's about the tone and frequency, not just the mention itself.
Okay, so this next one really made me wonder.
Yeah.
They suggest that a woman who's very social, loves parties, enjoys going out, could be, well,
Right. This raises like an important question about how we view, women's social behavior, particularly compared to men's, right?
Yeah.
Is a man who like enjoys parties, is he seen as having those same red flags?
Yeah.
Likely not.
Right.
Someone who enjoys socializing, meeting new people, it doesn't automatically equate to anything beyond being outgoing and enjoying connections.
They even list having a lot of guy friends or like
Oh.
frequently changing friend groups as a potential sign. I mean, come on, isn't that just part of life as we grow and evolve?
I mean, think about it. People move, they change careers, go through different phases. It's natural for like social circles to shift over time, right?
Yeah.
Someone might have like primarily guy friends simply because they share common interests or work in, a male-dominated field.
Yeah.
Attributing that to their relationship history is a pretty big leap in logic.
And what about being flirty? They list that too.
Okay.
But isn't flirting just a playful way of interacting?
Sure.
Some people are just naturally more flirtatious.
Exactly. It's a personality trait, not necessarily a reflection of their romantic or sexual history.
Right.
And this is where we need to kind of circle back to what the source keeps emphasizing. Communication.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be more effective, rather than trying to decode these so-called signs, to simply have an open and honest conversation about what you're looking for in a relationship, what your expectations are?
I've never thought about it that way. Why do you think they focus on these external signs instead of, say, focusing on things like emotional compatibility or shared values?
It's an interesting question. Maybe it stems from a desire for a shortcut,
Yeah.
a quick way to assess compatibility.
Right.
But relationships aren't built on quick assessments. They're built on trust, understanding, and, as we've been saying, communication.
But come on, you've got to admit, sometimes there's a little truth to these stereotypes, right?
Mhm.
Maybe not these specifically, but surely there are some behaviors that can hint at someone's relationship history.
Perhaps, yeah. But I think relying on those sorts of assumptions can be, problematic. It can lead to misjudgments, prevents us from really getting to know someone for who they are.
Okay, so what does this all mean for us out in the dating world? If we can't rely on these signs, how do we navigate this whole thing?
This deep dive, it makes you wonder. In a world of dating apps, constantly evolving social norms, do these traditional ideas about, relationship red flags even hold up anymore?
That's a good question.
Instead of playing detective, focusing on open and honest communication from the start, it seems like a much healthier approach.
Couldn't agree more. So keep those critical thinking skills sharp out there, right? I mean, this makes me wonder, if communication is so crucial, what are some effective ways to approach these sensitive topics early on in a relationship
Oh, that's a good one.
without seeming, judgmental or intrusive?
Yeah,
And that's something, we can all think about.
right.
All right, until next time.
See you then.